Let's talk about your health. We are all guilty of this at one point or another, wanting to rewrite the past or hope for a redo. Sometimes it's about your life choices. Sometimes it's about our work or our professional choices. But wallowing in that regret won't change where you are now. So to help us change the narrative and use that energy for good is psychologist and executive coach, Dr. Lisa Orbe-Austin. Hi, Dr. Lisa.
Hi, Natalie.
So can we first talk about how people tend to kind of overestimate the results of the path not taken? They always think another job or career path that they would have taken would have resulted in a better career. That's not necessarily true.
Yeah, I think we have a tendency, and research shows this, to focus on the possibilities and the fantasies of things that we didn't get. And so it becomes easier to kind of think the grass is greener on the path that we didn't take. And so I think it is really important to recognize that we often tend to be looking at things that we don't actually know to be true about these things that we regret not doing or not taking advantage of.
Yeah, we'll never know the other side because we didn't take it. So the point of overanalyzing that, what's the first step we should take to avoid that endless overanalyzing of our current career choices?
Yeah, I think it's really important to recognize that, there's a career is a long pathway, and there are a lot of opportunities to make choices. And if you feel a sense of regret, it's important to think about, what do you feel regret about? What do you think, that other job would have had? Would it have more money, more flexibility? And maybe that's the things you need to focus on trying to get in this current moment, as opposed to thinking that you just lost that. You didn't lose it. You just start starting to focus on the things that you do want, and maybe focus on that instead.
And if we do have regrets about certain jobs, what are the steps we should take to maybe analyze if we do need to choose something else?
Yeah, I think you really need to assess whether or not what you're currently feeling is just temporary, or whether it's been consistent, and you really do need to kind of look at other options. Okay. And if you do need to look at other options, you want to think about, what is it that I want that's different, and how am I going to make sure that I get that?
So let's say we do all that and we do decide we're still feeling that something out there is better for us. Where should we begin to explore that, and how? I know some experts say going on job dates. What does that entail?
I think oftentimes people are overcommitted to their workplaces, and they just feel like, oh, well, I'm here, and so as long as I'm currently here, I just want to stay committed. But I think it's really important to be exploring. If you're unhappy, to think about talking to people at other organizations, to be able to kind of, maybe do some interviewing, talk to recruiters, to respond to calls from them, because that allows you to kind of see what's out there and see if this idea of the fantasy is actually true, or whether it's just in fantasy. So I think it's really important, especially in this job market. The market's still very solid, and we do have a lack of people applying for positions. So it's a really wonderful time to start doing that job dating.
I have one last question for you, maybe a more personal question. What does that constant living in the what if or living in the regret do to us as humans in our mental state?
Yeah, it's actually an automatic negative thought called the regret orientation. And so it's when you are always oriented to what you didn't get. And what it affects is our ability to stay present in what is currently happening to us, and the good things that are happening to us, and also the things that we want to change, but we're always caught up with what didn't happen. So it does really create a negative space for us, and really make us feel like we're doing the wrong thing. So it's really unhealthy for us to kind of be in that regret space.
Yeah, stay present would be the lesson that we learned from this. And if you do want to explore, just make sure you're doing the right way, maybe not quitting the day you decide you want to do something else.
Yes, don't do that.
Yeah. All right, Dr. Lisa, thanks so much. We'll see you again next week.